When I first started here, relatively early on, I was presented with this opportunity to go on a research cruise in the Arctic, and I jumped on the opportunity, of course, and it's been really a phenomenal experience. Not only, getting to work in a really cool environment and getting to do things that aren't typical for a computer science graduate student, but working with scientists from all over the world in a whole diverse set of fields, from biology to oceanography, a bunch of different things that I wouldn't have gotten exposed to otherwise.
When Scott went with our cameras, they capture multi-view scene data. So we had 3 cameras. Just like our 2 eyes, these 3 cameras look at the ice and then they get the depth of that ice. So if you have the water level and then the surface ice, then we can look at the difference and see the thickness of the ice. That was the purpose. So our project was actually to observe and extract habitat information of walrus. We need to look at the ice surface to identify the habitats and quantify it.
When I first got to the Polar Stern, we were setting up our equipment, and in the office there were some monitors that were displaying this infrared footage that sort of blew my mind as a computer vision researcher. The infrared camera system is a omnidirectional thermal camera system, and they use it for spotting marine mammals. Because mammals are warm-blooded, they're relatively easy to see against the cold background.
So if you were to focus on a certain temperature, for example, then you can spot at polar bears. When we have the footprint information on our visible imagery on the ice, the natural thing for us to see is, can we get infrared data and be able to observe the polar bear itself, which is really what Scott has done to put both these camera system images into one scheme of things.
We have this data that explores both habitat from where there's bears that are present, where we can see footprints in optical band stereo. We have geoscale data, and all this sort of points towards the conclusion that a lot of scientists have made, that climate is changing. And VR is really great as a medium because people are so interested in VR as a technology that they're willing to sit down and listen to the message that climate change is real and something has to be done about it.
When you see something happening in such a drastic way, you would like to know why it's happening and what can I do to change that.
Ice is not only a habitat for animals like walrus and plankton that live in and around the ice, but it affects global climate. And so it's an important variable to quantify, not just for local environment, but for the whole world.